overdoses, and it got pretty scary for a while. It's basically a walking zombie, and I'd steal from my own grandma at that point. Well, after a while, I decided I was at rock bottom and it was time to change things, and I started to smoke cannabis instead of taking the pills. And you know what? I found that when I smoked weed, the cravings for the opiates were gone, and the weed also helped alleviate my withdrawal symptoms, which anyone who's been through opiate withdrawal knows what I'm talking about. That stuff is rough. It is tough. You can't sleep. You're nauseous all the time. And if I hadn't had cannabis with me, I really feel I may have caved in, and I may not even be here to speak to you guys today. So I'd also like to throw congratulations out for my state, Maryland, representing. Woo! Got a law on the books.
Yeah.
See some progress between last year and this year. Kind of makes you feel like you did something, I guess. But anyway, I'm going to keep it short. I've got a little bit of a prepared speech I've got here. The tyrants of this world would have us live our lives in fear. Fear of death, fear of disease, and fear of our fellow man. The powers that be have labeled us a scourge upon society and a cancerous blight on the civilized world. But you, my brothers and sisters, you know the truth. You have embraced the powers of love, acceptance, understanding, and non-violence, all values that seem to rise from the very earth in the form of our beloved cannabis. Now we stand on our nation's capital, on our nation's birthday, in the 41st year of this brutal and failed war, forced ourselves to rise up and demand from our government the acknowledgement that this amazing and healing plant deserves. So here we are, and we will not back down from this fight. We will not be intimidated by the agents of fear and oppression, nor by the profiteering thugs.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Nor by the profiteering thugs who wish to cast us as criminals in order to advance their own corporate interests and amass ever more wealth for themselves. We are the people. This is our land. And there is one thing that I know for certain, that if there is a God over this earth, then the light of that God shines upon us and our cause, for we stand illuminated by the beacon of truth.
Amen.
Yeah. We who have suffered under the chains of prohibition, we who have lived in the shadows for fear of our neighbors and families, we have begun to rise and say no more. We will not be ruled by fear. We will not be victims of ignorance. We will not surrender to propaganda and misinformation. We will rise and declare to the world that we shall be free.
Woo! You go, Joey!
Today, we protest the injustices of the war on drugs. Today, we demonstrate our support for the thousands of nonviolent men and women imprisoned as a result, and their families which have been broken and torn apart as a result of their unfair incarceration. And we proclaim our right to our choice of natural medicine.